Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to talk about Succession Zerker and the nerfs that are incoming. We should be getting those probably really soon. So let's just kind of jump into it real quick. So for those of you that don't know and haven't read the Global Labs patches and whatnot from like a week ago or something, I honestly can't remember, but Succession Zerker got some pretty notable nerfs, and I think they were definitely warranted, and I already knew that they were coming from when I was in Boston. You know, Jaehee was like, hey yo, we're looking at Sug Zerker, and I was like, ah shit, here we go again. So Succession Zerker has been hit with some very notable nerfs. The first one being the predatory hunt nerf, where we jump a bunch of times, and if you land on somebody with one of the Goomba stomps, it's a bound, which is very strong, and it's actually like probably one of the more, I guess I would say, needed things in the kit, because the problem with Succession Zerker is there's not really a whole lot of CC options. We have 5 grabs, but like we're a large scale class now. Like we don't really do 1v1s anymore. We don't really small scales is okay still, but 1v1s is kind of like rough. It's a little rough because it's just kind of run around Musa playstyle. You're just playing bitchy and then fishing for like a grab, fishing for a cheeky CC and whatnot. That's kind of like what you do in Succession, right? But in large scale, we don't have CC options because most of them are completely worthless. We have the beastly wind slash, that we have that, but yeah, because I'm gonna do that into a ball. It's very not good. So we don't have a lot of CC. We've got claws, we've got our weakling hunt kind of thing going on here, and then the claws is a float, but we'll talk about those in a moment. But those are just, I just can't justify those as really solid CC options in large scale. They're just not worth it. So this move was our one and only big CC, and we could do that and get a mass CC for our team, and it's very supportive. So taking that away and changing it to the very last hit where we explode in the air. So if we jump in, right, and then we explode like that, the explosion is what CCs now, which is it can still work, I think, but it's gonna give the players a lot of room for them to kind of dodge out of the way, whereas we now have to play more calculated, and we have to do a little bit more brain power, which I think is fine. I just think it was like one of the better things that Zerker had going for him in terms of like large scale. So this is definitely going to put a damper on things, but it's not going to kill him for sure. But definitely you can't just monkey dive in now for nothing, because if you don't CC everybody, you might get grabbed, or you might just get chipped out through the super armor. So you'll have to be careful when diving in now. If anything, you're gonna have to kind of like play more flanky. Maybe you're on a flex like me. I play flex on my for my guild. So when the ball's diving and whatnot, I'll like maybe flank around from the rear, and then I'll dive in. That's probably more or less how I'm gonna have to play in terms of large scale. So that's probably the biggest nerf in my opinion. The other nerfs are going to be changed with your claws and your weakling hunt, like little, your just everything related to your claws. So the SAs have now been changed to forward guards. So no more SAs through this or this move. You are only going to have forward guard, which is hit or miss. It really depends on your play style. If you're just a bot and don't know how to actually like maneuver with the Zerker and aim the forward guard, where map awareness, what class is where, how you can get CC'd, this could be a very positive change. But again, if you're like terrible at Succession Zerker, this could be a super negative change, because you're not going to know how to use this properly. So right now, one of the biggest issues with Zerker is we have nothing but super armors and very minimal forward guards. That's the biggest issue, and we have practically no iframe. So the problem is, whenever you're using a super armor, right, like this move for example, I can get chipped out of this. Like if somebody has incredibly high AP, they can just blow me up through that super armor. This happens quite often. It's a very common tactic that most players use, especially in large scale. They'll just blow you up through super armors. But now when we use our claws, right, this is forward guard, so we can just kind of safely do this as long as we know nothing is behind us that can, you know, hit us through the forward guard. So now we have to be more wary of lawns, we have to be more wary of strikers, fucking Hashishins, just all these other classes that can go around your forward guard and hit you through it. That is one of the bigger things you're gonna have to worry about now. You can't just super armor and just be like, oh, I'm not gonna get CC'd and just kind of like, you know, bot your way through a combo. You have to be a little bit more calculated with this now, which I'm totally okay with. It just means that, you know, when it comes to fighting those classes that can go around or through your forward guard, you're just gonna have to either avoid them or do something else entirely to kind of get through them. So that change is probably the one that people hate the most, because I think people enjoyed Succession Zerker because of the free essays that we had, and I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. I would much rather block damage than literally get blown up in essays, especially in this meta right now where everyone does a bunch of damage. Forward guard is a much more welcome change than super armor. Plus, it's a fair trade-off. They can outplay a forward guard with CCs through forward guards or going around it, and I can outplay them by aiming the forward guard appropriately and blocking their damage. Not to mention, there are crystal builds that I can use. You know, we can go Han Hooms, we can go Rebellious Crystals, and build up our HP pool so that way our forward guard is that much more stronger. So that's also like one of the more notable things, is that people are overlooking the fact that you can actually build tanky now and your forward guard will actually matter. And this works out perfectly for me because I play warrior, and you know, the Rebellious Crystals and Han Hooms in the warrior with his Q block is fucking disgusting. So this works out really, really well for me. Okay, and the last notable nerf that I can remember off the top of my head, I don't feel like opening up global labs and whatnot, but these are the last notable ones that I know off the top of my head, is we got an indirect stamina nerf with Lava Piercer. So now when we're in doggo mode, our prime Lava Piercer no longer goes as far, and it doesn't last as long either. So we have to be really, really careful now with our stamina consumption. It's still not that bad because we can still, you know, fucking do this shit where we're just dashing a million times like this and get the fuck away really, really easily. But the fact that Lava Piercer is a little bit slower now and it doesn't last as long, we have to kind of be careful and time it correctly so that way we don't get knocked out of the super armor. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. In my honest opinion, I feel like they should have just nerfed you know, our like tackling rock kind of thing. Like this definitely should have got nerfed, because the problem was this takes no stamina. Like like I can do this forever. And that was the main complaint I feel like people had, is that we could use that way too often and put too much distance. You know, Lava Piercer SA, all right, cool, check it out, I'm gone. Boom, boom, Lava Piercer again, boom, I'm gone. Like, do you guys see how far I traveled literally across the fucking earth and got to safe zone? Like, that's a problem. Like, that's a problem. Lava Piercer already is fast enough and it goes long enough, like regular Lava Piercer, not prime, right? Like, look at how long this lasts. I went from all the way over there to here, super armored, and then I could have elongated it with tackling rock. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna go ahead and do that again. So let me just activate this. So again, we're gonna start from safe zone right here. Okay. So safe zone, we're going. Extended. Boom. Oof. What the fuck are you gonna do? You're like, what the fuck are you gonna do? There's very minimal amounts of classes that can catch a Succession Zerker, and the fact that you nerfed Lava Piercer instead of nerfing tackling rock is a little strange. Definitely tackling rock is the one that needed to be nerfed, not Lava Piercer. I would rather take tackling rock nerf over Lava Piercer, because Lava Piercer just almost does nothing. Like, it really does nothing, because again, just because you shortened it doesn't mean that we can't travel long distances, right? You know, if we wanted to, let's say, I don't know, let's just try and boom, and then like this. So now we just go directly into our tackling rock, and we still travel the same amount of distance. We just have to, you know, cancel it sooner and tackling rock faster. It kind of is a small band-aid to a larger issue. So If anything, I would revert the lava piercer change and nerf tackling rock and make sure that this takes 20 stamina per dash. That's what I would do. 20 stamina per dash is completely fair because we can still utilize it and get the fuck away with that while also, you know, having to be more methodical with the use of it. So in my opinion, revert the lava piercer change and go with tackling rock because tackling rock is the problem ability, not lava piercer. And as far as everything else goes, I think mostly everything is about the same. The claws got changed to forward guard. Predatory Hunt now does not CC except for the final explosion, and Lava Piercer and Prime Lava Piercer I believe gotten time nerfed where they're not as long and they don't go as far and they're much slower. So that's pretty much it. If you guys are wondering about Awakening, I guess I can talk about that for a quick moment. So as far as I know, I haven't looked too much into this, so you're gonna have to bear with me, and this is all kind of like, again, fuzzy memory, but Split Shot I believe now has 100% crit on it, so that's huge. That's really huge. Me and Guido were kind of talking about this, but Flame Buster now I believe is not attached to Split Shot anymore, so like you can now like do its own thing. It's very weird. For those of you that don't know, Split Shot was attached to Flame Buster, so you know your add-ons from Flame Buster would translate over to Split Shot, but now it's not attached to it anymore and it has its own 100% crit. So there's quite a lot going on here with that, so this is quite the buff. In my opinion, Guido was saying when I talked to him last time that it kind of got nerfed because it had a 40%, you know, minus 40% on it. But I believe that was because on PC it says that, or it's tying in the Flame Buster 40% minus damage for PvP. I think on PC it does that. Whereas on console, the translation is, it doesn't actually show minus 40%, but it shows it on Flame Buster. So because it's not attached to Flame Buster anymore, there's no minus 40%. So this is gonna hit quite a bit harder, and it's gonna be probably you know, the Seismic 3.0 at this point. So pretty much being able to spam this with 100% crit, yeah, this is gonna hurt quite a lot. And I think that's kind of everything for Awakening. If there's probably more to it and I just kind of forgot. I know that Flame Buster got some kind of like change where now you have to use it at level 1 because it shoots faster, but I think that's only related to PC, and on console it doesn't make a difference at all. So that's kind of nor here or there. That's something I'll probably look into later, and maybe if I do an Awakening video, I'll look more into the Global Labs patches and check that out. But for now, as far as I know, Split Shot, massive buff with 100% crit on it. But other than that, we pretty much covered everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.